What's up, you guys? Welcome to or back to the channel where we focus on all things finance and real estate related. In today's video, I'm going to be providing an update on President-elect Joe Biden's new $1.9 trillion stimulus proposal. I'll be discussing what's in the proposal and what it means for you and your family. I also want to cover the most recent U.S. weekly jobless claims because I feel this is very important to our overall economy, and it really helps to put these stimulus proposals into the proper context. Now, if this interests you, do me a favor and tap that like button and consider subscribing for more related content. Alright, so here's where we are, Joe Dolls, and let me tell you, I wasn't happy when I saw these latest economic numbers. So first-time jobless claims totaled 965,000 last week versus the projected estimate of 800,000. Not only is that a lot of people in general, we add an additional 965,000 unemployed, but that is also 165,000 more than what was anticipated, which I think is a strong indicator of where our economy is heading. These recent numbers are also a 5-month high, again showing that our economy is not stable at the moment. These latest U.S. weekly jobless numbers are above last week's number, which were 784,000, which is an indicator that the unemployment crisis in this country is worsening and trending in the wrong direction. A part of it could be that there are a lot of people who were employed in seasonal positions for the holidays who have now lost those jobs, which could be inflating the numbers. But regardless of the fact, it shows that we have more and more Americans every week who are now unemployed. Those who have ongoing continuing claims also were higher, rising to 5.27 million. It is this economic instability and the surge in virus cases across our country that is leading President-elect Joe Biden to call for additional stimulus. Biden this week unveiled his $1.9 trillion stimulus plan, which is calling for more stimulus checks, direct payments to Americans, additional assistance for those who are unemployed, additional rental assistance to protect people from eviction, as well as funding for small businesses, assistance for state and local governments, and funding for vaccinations and testing. Now, this new economic proposal by Biden is called the American Rescue Plan, and is supposed to build on the prior stimulus package. Remember, Joe Dolls, Biden has consistently stated while running for president that the prior stimulus packages are a down payment on much more needed relief. Alright, so now I'm going to provide specific details on the various policy proposals. And by the way, if you're enjoying the content so far, do me a favor and tap that like button. It helps me out a ton. So first and foremost, Biden wants to get additional money into the pockets of Americans through additional stimulus checks. The plan calls for sending another $1,400 per person to eligible recipients. Now, this money would be in addition to the $600 payments that were approved by Congress in December and sent out earlier this month. So the $600 plus the $1,400 proposal would be a total of $2,000. However, a positive new development is that the new payments would go to adult dependents that were left out of the earlier rounds, like some children over the age of 17 and college dependents. It would also include households with mixed immigration status, as prior stimulus packages left out the spouses of undocumented immigrants who do not have social security numbers. So Biden has stated that we need to do more to assist those who are unemployed and wants to increase the weekly federal unemployment benefits to $400 per week, which is $100 more per week that was approved in the last stimulus package. So Biden wants to extend unemployment benefits through September of this year, along with two key pandemic unemployment programs. The first is the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program, which helps those who have exhausted their regular state jobless payments, as well as the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which provides benefits to the self-employed, independent contractors, and gig workers affected by the pandemic. Now, in order to provide stability and security to our housing market, the plan would provide $25 billion and rental assistance for low and moderate income households who have lost their jobs during this pandemic. Now, this is in addition to the $25 billion passed last month in the most recent stimulus package. $5 billion would be set aside to help struggling renters pay the utility bills, and another $5 billion to help states and localities assist those at risk of experiencing homelessness. Also, Biden states that he wants to extend the federal eviction moratorium, which is set to expire at the end of January. He would like to extend this to September 30th and allow people with federally guaranteed mortgages to apply for forbearance until September 30th. I think that these are all great ideas. The last thing we need right now as we battle this virus pandemic and try to get unemployment under control is to add a foreclosure or eviction crisis to our list of challenges. Comment below, what do you guys think about the rental moratorium and mortgage forbearance proposals? Biden also wants to help those most in need and at risk of hunger by extending the 15% increase in SNAP benefits through September and invest another $3 billion to help women, infants, and children secure food, and also another $1 billion in nutrition assistance. Now, we all know that with many businesses shut down and more people working from home, the need for childcare has grown exponentially. With that being said, Biden wants Congress to create a $25 billion emergency fund and add $15 billion to an existing grant program to help childcare providers, including family childcare homes, to pay for rent, utilities, and payroll. He's also proposing that we expand the child care tax credit for 1 year so that families will get back as much as half of their spending on child care for children under the age of 13. Now, another way Biden wants to expand child tax credit is by boosting the child tax credit to $3,600 for children under age 6 and $3,000 for children between ages 6 and 17 for an entire year. Now, this credit would be made fully refundable. And to provide additional assistance to low-income families, he proposes raising the maximum earned income tax credit for a year to $1,500 for childless adults, and increase the income limit for the credit to about $21,000, as well as expanding the age range of eligibility to cover older workers. Now, there's also some proposals floating out there related to health care and the Affordable Care Act to help those who have lost health insurance, as well as to help those who are getting insurance through the Affordable Care Act. He wants to do this by limiting premium subsidies that people have to pay to an 8.5% cap of their total income for coverage. So federal paid and sick leave benefits actually expired last month, and Biden wants to renew and extend these benefits through September, as well as expand eligibility to cover businesses with more than 500 employees and less than 50, as well as federal workers who are excluded from the original program. So under the proposal, you would get up to 14 weeks of paid leave for people who are sick or quarantining or caring for a child whose school is closed. The government would actually reimburse businesses the full amount for providing the leave. Now, I have to say, I think these are all great ideas. You shouldn't have to choose between your health, caring for your child, and your income or your job. I think this will go a very long way in helping those most in need and getting some breathing room. Now, for small businesses, Biden wants to provide $15 billion for a new grant program in addition to renewing funding for the Paycheck Protection Program. He's also proposing a $35 billion investment in some state, local, tribal, and nonprofit financing programs that make low-interest loans and provide venture capital to entrepreneurs to help stimulate our economy. Now, one of the biggest areas of disagreement between Democrats and Republicans in the prior stimulus negotiations is assistance for state and local cities. So Biden wants to send $350 billion to state and local governments to keep frontline workers employed, distribute the vaccine, increase testing, and hopefully reopen all of our schools. The plan would provide an additional $170 billion to K-12 schools, colleges, and universities to help them reopen and operate safely, or to assist them with remote virtual learning. Now, to get this virus under control, Biden wants to invest $20 billion into a national vaccination program, including launching community vaccination centers all over the country, as well as mobile units in hard-to-reach areas, and increase federal support to vaccinate Medicaid enrollees. So the proposal would invest $50 billion in testing, providing funds to purchase rapid tests, expand lab capacity, and help schools implement regular testing to support safe reopening. Now, believe it or not, guys, the last time the federal minimum wage was raised was July 24, 2009, when it went from $6.55 to $7.25. I mean, I have to say, well, this is ridiculous. With the amount of inflation we've had over the last 12 years, who can live on $7.25 an hour? I am aware that many states have their own minimum wage labor laws that are higher than the federal $7.25, but give me a break. I think this increase is way long overdue. So Biden is calling on Congress to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour and to end the tipped minimum wage and the sub-minimum wage for people with disabilities. And to be honest, I think these are all great ideas. So there you guys have it, an economic update on unemployment, where we stand on the jobless claims, as well as a detailed breakdown of the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. Alright, so I would love your feedback on our economy and the new stimulus proposal. Also, if you found value in this video, do me a favor and sure to tap that like button and share with others on social media. It helps me out a lot. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell as I'm posting valuable new information every week. Thanks for watching, and until next time.